Hi, my name is Joanne Zimler, and I have something very important that I want to share with you about my life. About a year ago, I was suffering from tremendous pain. Getting in the bed, getting out of the bed, all of these things took so much effort, and it was so painful for me. In fact, it took me about 2 minutes to get into the bed, to just position myself without causing so much pain. I went to chiropractors, I went to see a naturopath, I went to acupuncture, I saw physical therapy, massage therapy, all of these different things, and they did help a little bit, every one of them. However, my pain level only went down from a 7, which is what I was suffering with, to maybe about a 4, and that just wasn't enough for me. I felt that my quality of life was suffering, and I wasn't happy. I needed more. A friend introduced me to something unbelievable, and it changed my life. It's called the BEMER. It's a very simple medical device. I can't even describe to you how wonderful it is and what a change it has made for me. Not only can I get in and out of the bed now, and by the way, after only 2 sessions of using it, I could get in the bed without any pain. This was dramatic for me. I could sit in a car, I could sit at my job in a chair, and not have excruciating pain go through my body. It's a life-changing thing for me. It's unbelievable. And I want to say, even recreationally, I'm a very active person, always have been. And I love to golf. I have a passion for golf. Last year, I went to the driving range. I got my bucket of balls, like I normally do. After hitting about 3, 4, 5 balls, I said, this is just not happening. I can't do it. 10 balls, and I put the club back in my bag, and I went home depressed because I couldn't play golf, and I love golf. Well, guess what I can do now? I can play golf. This is just fantastic. I cannot wait for the spring back home so I can hit that golf ball 200 yards, and it's all because of my BEMER. I never want to live without it, and you should have one too.
Hi, my name is Stephen Monaco. I live in a little town called Todos Santos, Baja, Mexico. Last year, in January of 2013, I was diagnosed with lingual tonsillar cancer. I had the dance with cancer from January of that year until August. In the end of June, beginning of July, I was introduced to the BEMER. I immediately recognized what it was doing to my circulation and the way I was feeling, and so I have to say that BEMER was a part of my ending the dance with cancer. Since that time, from July of last year until now, which is about 8 or 9 months, I've been using it routinely 2 and 3 times a day, sleeping on it. And one thing that I can say for certain is I'm 65 years old and I have never felt healthier or more alive. So all I can tell you is to experience it for yourself and let your health speak to you.
I'm Gay Edwards from Spokane, Washington, and I'm a BEMER user. 6 months ago, I found my BEMER. The very first thing that happened to me within a week was my energy level increased hugely. In addition to that, I started to feel good like I haven't felt for so many years. What I noticed after 3 or 4 days is my hearing improved. I'd been using the B-spot over both of my ears, hoping that my hearing would improve because I wear hearing aids. And so after 3 or 4 days, and certainly after a week, I gave up my hearing aids and I haven't used them since. That is really exciting to me. And then the next thing that happened is I found out that I also have been improved from my cataracts. I was ready to have a surgery on my right cataract. And I went to my optometrist and he said, no, you don't have cataracts anymore. So can you imagine? My cataracts were dissolved. Another thing that I'm really excited about is my peripheral neuropathy caused from certain drugs that left me with pain and swelling in my ankles. That's gone. That's gone, and I'm so relieved about that. I'm also relieved about the symptoms of Crohn's disease, which I've had for many years. It seems like all I need to do after my tummy swells from a big night or a big day of eating is just use my bee pad around my stomach area, and all the swelling goes down within just a few minutes. That again is a miracle. So, you know, my favorite thing probably that's been the most exciting for me is that I have lived a life of very low blood pressure, and I have not been able to have energy that most people have. Well, after 5 months, I guess it would be, of using my BEMER, my energy is huge, and I can tell you that my blood pressure now is at approximately 117/70, which my doctor tells me is perfect. So I cannot tell you how much I love my BEMER. I would do anything to keep my BEMER. I hope you all enjoy these kind of benefits as well.
Hi, I'm Todd Wiley from Spokane, Washington, and got introduced to BEMER back about in April. And in a nutshell, we've seen some pretty amazing things with cataracts. We're now 23 out of 26 patients with early, a couple of them moderate cataracts that we've seen measurable improvement in visual acuity and resolving or complete reversal of the cataract in 3 to 6 weeks, 10 to 20 BEMER sessions. Also glaucoma, we're seeing VEPs. A patient this week, normal tension glaucoma, sped up 29 milliseconds from 155 to 126 on one of the latencies. And then also with macular degeneration, patient 8 BEMER sessions, 10 days, 2 lines of acuity gained in each eye, and VEP sped up 9 milliseconds one eye, just under 6. And a report as of yesterday from him now, 2 months later, one eye totally clear vision on the Amsler grid, and the other eye that was 20/70 down to 20/50. He's now just noticing minimal waviness on the lines. So, in a nutshell, that's what we're at so far.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I have been for about 30 years. And I've tried to keep pretty tight control on my diabetes, and have escaped most of the bad side effects from it. However, last May, because I have peripheral neuropathy and I lost the pain protection in my feet, I broke a bone in my foot and didn't know it, so I walked around on it until my wife heard me walk past her and said, "What is that noise?" And I said, "Oh, that's my foot." And I went to the doctor. I had been to the doctor already a couple of times, but they weren't sure what it was. So I went to my podiatrist, and I have what's called Charcot foot. And your foot breaks back by your calcaneus, back by your heel, and your arch will collapse and actually invert. And years ago, they used to amputate people's feet for it because they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And now they don't do that, but many people have to have surgery to get the arch back in their foot. And if they don't, then they are destined for a lifetime of pain because their arch is gone. And so I was, from the end of last May until right now, I was non-weight bearing for about 6 months, in a cast and then in a boot, in a wheelchair, on my scooter, my knee scooter, crutches, and I got into another program with Dr. Yoder, who's a chiropractor and also a BEMER distributor, and I was on a different program to put my diabetes in remission. And when I went to see him before he got started, he said, "You know, I hate to mention this because I don't want you to feel like I'm shoving things at you, but I think this thing could really help you." And so he lent me a Pro model BEMER, and I've been using it since about the first part of November. And after using it for 2 months, I'm getting the feeling back in my feet. My neuropathy is reversing. I'm getting a lot of feeling in my feet. Sometimes it's a mixed blessing, but I am definitely getting feeling back in my feet for the first time in a long time. And also, I've had infusions of chemotherapy drugs to force calcium into my bones, not because I lack calcium on my bones, but I got to a point where I had a CAT scan. They said my foot was healed. I got up and went through a phased weight-bearing program, and after I was full weight-bearing for a week, my foot went south again. So I was another 2 months off of non-weight-bearing, and during that time I've been using the BEMER. And now, in addition to getting the feeling back in my feet, I'm now walking again with just a cane in the boot, and at the end of this week I'll be going back into a shoe. My foot feels differently now, so I'm really amazed and impressed, and so I bought a BEMER, and